Deep beneath the ocean's surface, where sunlight never reaches and the pressure could crush a car in seconds, 135 brave souls live together in a metal tube no wider than a city bus. They share just 3 toilets, 2 showers, and sleep in bunks so cramped that stretching out feels like being trapped in an MRI machine. For months at a time, these American submarine crews navigate some of the most challenging living conditions on Earth, yet somehow maintain the highest morale in the entire military. But here's what will shock you. Despite having access to unlimited seawater, every drop they use for drinking, cooking, and bathing must be carefully manufactured on board. They survive on a strict 3 to 5 minute shower rule that would make most of us panic. And when nature calls? Well, let's just say there's a very specific procedure that, if done wrong, results in what submariners call the worst possible scenario imaginable. Today, we're diving deep into the hidden world of submarine life, revealing exactly how these underwater warriors manage the most basic human needs while defending America beneath the waves. What you're about to discover will give you a whole new appreciation for the sacrifices our naval forces make every single day. If you're amazed by the dedication of our submarine crews and want to show your support, type Strong Navy in the comments below. The sleeping challenge. Let's start with something we all take for granted, getting a good night's sleep. On a Virginia-class submarine, this becomes an intricate dance of timing, respect, and pure exhaustion. Picture this reality. 135 crew members, but only 94 beds. The math doesn't work, and that's intentional. What happens is called hot racking. And no, it's not as comfortable as it sounds. When one sailor finishes his shift and heads to sleep, he's literally climbing into a bunk that another sailor just vacated. The sheets might still be warm, hence the term hot racking. These bunks aren't your average beds either. Stacked 3 high in spaces no larger than walk-in closets, each bunk measures just slightly longer than the average person's height. Submariners describe sleeping in them as feeling like being inside an MRI machine, or in the darker moments, like lying in a casket. The only privacy comes from a simple curtain that can be pulled across the opening. But here's where the true character of our submarine crews shines through. Despite these cramped conditions, they've developed an unwritten code of respect that would make any parent proud. No slamming doors, ever. No loud conversations near sleeping areas. No politics discussed on board. These men understand that in such close quarters, consideration for others isn't just polite. It's essential for mission success. The sleep schedule itself defies everything we know about normal human rhythms. Instead of a traditional 24-hour day, submarines often operate on an 18-hour cycle. 6 hours of work, 6 hours of free time, and 6 hours of sleep. This cycle repeats continuously, meaning that what we consider day and night become meaningless concepts hundreds of feet below the surface. Recent studies from the Naval Submarine Medical Research Laboratory in 2024 revealed fascinating data about submarine sleep patterns. Researchers found that submariners actually get an average of 6.62 hours of objective sleep per day, which compares favorably to sailors on other Navy platforms. However, the submariners themselves reported feeling like they only got 5.90 hours of sleep, a perception gap that speaks to the challenging conditions they endure. What makes this even more remarkable is how these sleep-deprived heroes maintain their focus and professionalism. Remember, these aren't just any sailors. They're operating nuclear reactors, handling sophisticated weapon systems, and making split-second decisions that could affect national security. The level of mental discipline required is extraordinary. The food. Now let's talk about something that might surprise you. Submarine food is legendary throughout the military for being the absolute best. And when you understand the challenges involved, you'll realize why our submarine cooks deserve medals for their daily miracles. Imagine running a restaurant that serves 520 meals every single day, using only a kitchen space that measures 10 feet by 12 feet. That's smaller than most people's bedrooms. Now imagine doing this while the entire restaurant is rocking back and forth, sometimes at extreme angles, and you can never step outside to get fresh ingredients. This is exactly what happens aboard our submarines, where a team of just 6 food service specialists feeds the entire crew. Only 2 of them actually do the cooking, one during the day shift and one during the night shift. They work with equipment that would make any civilian chef jealous: 2 ovens, a fryer, 2 boiler pots, and a griddle. But here's the catch. They also have a freezer packed floor to ceiling with a complete 90-day supply of food. The planning required is mind-boggling. Every single meal for the entire deployment must be calculated and loaded before the submarine leaves port. Fresh produce lasts only about a week, so after that first week, creativity becomes essential. These culinary warriors transform canned, frozen, and dried ingredients into meals that keep morale high during the most challenging deployments. But our submarine cooks go far beyond just feeding the crew. They understand their role in maintaining the fighting spirit of America's underwater guardians. Saturday nights mean pizza and buffalo wings, a sacred submarine tradition. Sundays bring prime rib or steak with shrimp. There's Italian night once a week, complete with fresh-baked French bread, lasagna, manicotti, and spaghetti with either meat or clam sauce. The logistics alone deserve appreciation. Consider this. They serve what amounts to 200 portions for every 100 people, because submariners work so hard they typically eat double portions of everything. Despite this enormous demand, submarine galleys never run short and never resort to portion control. They accomplish this through meticulous planning and organization that would impress any business executive. What makes this even more impressive is the rotating meal schedule. To maintain sanity during those long underwater stretches, the mess rotates breakfast, lunch, and dinner every few days. This means the night shift isn't always stuck eating meat and potatoes for breakfast. They get the same variety as everyone else. The preparation happens in real time, with fresh bread baked daily. These aren't pre-made meals being reheated. This is scratch cooking at its finest, performed in conditions that would challenge even the most experienced chefs. And let's not forget, all of this happens while maintaining complete silence when the mission requires it. Water, the liquid lifeline. Here's something that might blow your mind. Submarines are surrounded by more water than anywhere else on Earth, yet every single drop they use must be carefully manufactured on board. It's one of the most critical operations happening 24/7 beneath the waves. Seawater contains salt, and salt water can't be used for drinking, cooking, or even maintaining the sophisticated equipment that keeps these submarines operational. The nuclear reactor alone consumes about 4,000 gallons of ultra-pure water every single week. Add to that the daily needs of 135 crew members, and you're talking about serious water production requirements. Our submarines solve this challenge through two primary methods, both representing American engineering at its finest. The traditional method uses distillation, essentially a massive tea kettle that boils seawater and captures the steam, leaving the salt behind. Modern submarines have upgraded to reverse osmosis systems, which filter seawater through specialized membranes that remove impurities. The numbers are staggering. A submarine's water production plant can generate between 10,000 and 40,000 gallons of fresh water every single day. That's enough to supply a small town, yet it all happens inside that narrow metal tube hundreds of feet underwater. But here's where the human element becomes crucial. Despite this impressive production capacity, water remains precious aboard submarines. Every faucet is designed to shut off automatically after just a few seconds. There's no leaving the water running while brushing teeth. Every drop counts. This brings us to one of the most challenging aspects of submarine life: personal hygiene in a water-conscious environment. Our submariners have mastered what's called the submarine shower, and it's a technique that would test anyone's efficiency skills. The submarine shower goes like this. Turn the water on just long enough to get wet, immediately turn it off, soap up completely, then turn the water back on briefly to rinse off. The entire process should take no more than 3 to 5 minutes. This isn't just a suggestion. It's submarine etiquette that shows respect for your shipmates and understanding of the boat's limitations. The hygiene reality. Sharing personal space with 134 other people for months at a time creates hygiene challenges that most of us never have to consider. On a submarine, dozens of crew members share just 2 showers, 3 toilets, and a handful of sinks. Privacy becomes a luxury that simply doesn't exist. The shower facilities themselves are marvels of space efficiency. Each shower compartment is designed to maximize every square inch while providing enough room for a grown man to wash effectively. But remember, this all happens with that strict 3 to 5 minute time limit, and your shipmates are waiting their turn. The timing of showers becomes almost military precision, which of course it is. Many submariners shower before breakfast, getting up extra early to avoid the rush. Others spread throughout the day, and some prefer the late night hours when most of the crew is sleeping. It's a careful choreography that happens automatically after crews learn to work together. But the real challenge comes with the toilets, and this is where submarine life gets truly unique. The toilet systems on submarines are far more complex than anything you'd find in civilian life. There are valves, pressure systems, and very specific procedures that must be followed exactly. Here's a fact that might surprise you. If you use the toilet incorrectly while the waste tanks are being emptied, the results can be catastrophic. The system uses pressure to blow waste overboard, and if someone opens the wrong valve at the wrong time, well, let's just say it's an experience no one wants to repeat. Submarine veterans will tell you this happens at least once per patrol when a new crew member forgets the procedures despite warning signs posted everywhere. The psychological aspects of submarine hygiene go beyond just the physical challenges. Living in such close quarters means that personal cleanliness becomes a matter of respect for your shipmates. Bad hygiene doesn't just affect you, it affects everyone around you for months at a time. Our submarine crews handle these challenges with the same professionalism they bring to every aspect of their service. They understand that maintaining high standards of personal hygiene isn't just about comfort, it's about unit cohesion, mission readiness, and mutual respect. The unwritten rules. What makes submarine life truly remarkable isn't just the technical challenges, it's the culture our submariners have created to thrive in these conditions. Over decades of underwater service, they've developed unwritten rules that would impress any organizational psychologist. The most important rule: no politics aboard the boat. With crew members from all backgrounds and political beliefs living in such close quarters, political discussions are simply off limits. This isn't enforced by regulation. It's a mutual agreement that keeps peace and maintains focus on the mission. Noise discipline extends far beyond operational requirements. Even during off-duty hours, crew members instinctively keep conversations quiet, move carefully to avoid banging into bulkheads, and are constantly aware that someone nearby is always trying to sleep. This level of consideration becomes second nature. Space sharing follows strict protocols. Personal storage is limited to a small locker and maybe a drop-down shelf, so submariners become masters of minimalism. Everything has its place, and everything stays in its place. There's simply no room for clutter or carelessness. The cleanliness standards go far beyond Navy regulations. In such confined spaces, keeping everything spotless isn't just about following orders. It's about survival and sanity. These men take pride in maintaining their living spaces to standards that would make any drill instructor smile. Community call-out. Speaking of the incredible dedication of our submarine forces, if you're a military veteran, currently serving, or simply someone who deeply appreciates the sacrifices our armed forces make every day, we'd love to have you join our growing community. We're building a space where veterans, active military, and military enthusiasts can connect, share experiences, and continue supporting each other long after the uniform comes off. Whether you served on submarines, surface ships, or any other branch of our military, your experience and perspective matter. Drop a comment below and let us know about your service, or simply let us know if you'd be interested in being part of this special community we're creating. Conclusion. The next time you step into your private bathroom, take a long hot shower, or climb into your own bed, take a moment to think about the submarine crews serving beneath the waves at that very moment. They're making sacrifices most of us can't even imagine, all to keep America safe and secure. These underwater warriors have turned extreme limitation into exceptional teamwork. They've transformed tiny spaces into highly efficient communities. They've proven that with the right attitude, training, and mutual respect, human beings can thrive anywhere, even hundreds of feet beneath the ocean's surface. Our submarine crews represent the very best of American ingenuity, dedication, and service. They deserve our deepest respect and gratitude for the sacrifices they make every single day. If this video gave you a new appreciation for our submarine forces, show your support by hitting that like button and subscribing for more content that honors the men and women who serve our nation. Until next time, remember that freedom isn't free. It's protected by heroes willing to live in a metal tube beneath the waves for months at a time, sharing beds, taking 3-minute showers, and eating meals prepared in a kitchen smaller than your bedroom, all so the rest of us can sleep safely in our own beds every night.